welcome to episode 1 of the KSP Quick Guides series. Let me take a minute to introduce myself in the series here. I'm Cruisin', and I'm a huge spaceplane enthusiast when it comes to playing KSP. I love everything about planes in real life, and being able to fly and design them in KSP is pretty awesome in my opinion. I've been playing KSP for quite a while, and I learned by a mix of trial and error and watching YouTube videos. There are a lot of good tutorials out there, thorough ones, but what I found lacking was that they were very long videos. So that's where this series idea came from. Make very short and to the point tutorials. I cut out all the crap and just give you what you need to know. What can you expect to see in this series? I plan to cover everything from the most basic plane design and flying, all the way up to advanced interplanetary SSTOs and everything in between, including VTOLs. Don't know what an SSTO or VTOL is? You're in the right place. So that brings us to episode 1. I have to set a foundation here, so we're going to kick things off by working with the basics of plane design. If you're new to KSP and planes, this will be a great place for you to start. If you're more of a seasoned vet and you made a wrong turn somewhere and ended up with this video, that's okay. Stick around and let me know if I've missed anything important. Getting feedback from the nublets and vets alike will help make this series much better in the long run. First off, I'll show you camera and part controls using the mouse and keyboard while in the Spaceplane Hangar. These might seem too basic, but trust me, they are things I use countless times every day, and you should too when you're building. Let's look at the mouse. The left mouse button selects parts for you, while the right mouse button spins the camera, as you can see here. Now, if you hold down Shift, you get different controls with the mouse. Shift plus left mouse button selects the entire ship, while holding Shift and right mouse button and moving left or right pans the camera in those directions, but if you move up and down, it zooms the camera in and out. The mouse wheel also zooms in and out, but while holding Shift and using the mouse wheel, it pans the camera up or down. Next we move on to the keyboard. You can rotate parts or the plane in a number of ways. The W, A, S, and D keys rotate the plane back, left, forward, and right, respectively, by 90 degrees. The Q and E keys roll the plane left or right by 90 degrees. Now if you use the WASD or Q and E keys while holding Shift down, these make the same rotations but in smaller increments, instead of 90 degrees at a time. The only weird thing is that the W and S keys have their directions reversed. I have no clue why. The last two important hotkeys are the X key, which toggles part symmetry, and the C key, which toggles angle snap. I'll adjust these while building the plane next. Alright, finally getting to the good bits. Let's start with the cockpit selection. When you're just starting off, stick with these two cockpits. I choose the Mark II out of personal preference. Next is adding fuel. For now, just stick to the Mark I fuselage, as it is easy to work with. Next we add a jet engine. Luckily for us, making this basic plane, they provide a basic engine. The turbojet is best used for high altitudes. Next up are the wings. These are what will give us lift, and there are plenty of options here as well. The delta wing is the one that will provide you with the most lift on its own, so use that for now. You can see how using the X and C keys for symmetry and angle snap come into play. For wings, I recommend turning angle snap on, and to obviously have symmetry on, as 2 wings are better than 1. Now we add control surfaces. First up are what are called elevons, or a combo of elevators and ailerons. These attach to the wings and control pitch and roll. Attach these close to the body for now. I recommend turning angle snap off. If you place these like I am, you can hit the W key once and they will turn the correct direction on the wing. Make sure symmetry is still on though. To control yaw, which is flat spinning, we could make a tail fin, but we can also use canards. To keep things simple, place them like I have, straight up and down. This ensures they only control yaw and also don't provide lift. I'll place the landing gears next. These can be very tricky, but with our setup, we can make this foolproof. Select the landing gears on the last page of the utility tab. We'll start off placing them underneath the wings like this. Symmetry on, angle snap off. Grab another one for our nose gear. I get a little tricky here as I'm going to be showing you a basic clipping technique. Turn symmetry off and angle snap on. On the nose, you can place it just under the middle like I have, and then rotate it so the wheel is down. Now since this doesn't exactly look too awesome, we'll cover it up adding a nose cone. And voila! Almost done here. Back to the aerodynamics tab. We need to add air intakes for the jet engine to work. The simplest one to add is the radial intake, as they can go anywhere. Now I toss on a battery here, but it isn't necessary. It is good to start thinking about electric charge now though. I can't tell you how many planes I've sent out that run out of power, and that sucks. plane is technically good to go now, but I need to bring up the 3 greatest tools you'll be using when designing planes. The bubbles! The COM, the COT, and COL, center of mass, center of thrust, and center of lift, are extremely important to pay attention to during the design phase. Here you can see that I've got the blue center of lift bubble behind the yellow center of mass bubble. So this is good for now, but I'm worried about the purple center of thrust bubble being above the center of mass. This is caused by our landing gear placement, which is pulling our center of mass down. If you don't fix this, your plane could want to nose down due to the thrust being too high. This is easy to fix though. Grab your landing gears in the wings and bring them to the top like I am. Turn symmetry on and snap off. Rotate the gears sideways until they stick below the wing. This brings the mounting point higher up, raising the center of mass. Since I want to act like I have OCD, I'm going to add dead weight to the top of the plane, which will raise the center mass even higher, since it's still a tiny bit too low. Feel free to skip this, as the plane will fly fine as is. The basic gist, though, is to get these RCS monopropellant pods and place them above the center of mass, which will raise it slightly. I chose to use 2. Ah, nice and even. If we were going to fly this without SAS, it should be pretty stable because it's balanced now. Time to name this bad boy. You can go take it for a spin, or crash it. I don't care. Have fun with this thing. It should be easy to fly, but if you're having trouble, be sure to check in to see the next episode, which covers just about everything there is to know about flying, including precision controls and trim settings, which help a lot. I'm sure I missed something in this tutorial, as I wanted to keep it short and simple. If I lost you anywhere, or you need some help with stuff that I covered here, don't hesitate to leave a comment with your questions, as I'll be answering all of them if I can. If you can think of something I left out, let me know, and I'll try to figure out a way to incorporate it. I'll be doing more videos, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. I'll post a craft file for the fledgling that I built here so that you can fly it, if you didn't get a chance to build it yourself, that is. I'll most likely be using it for the flight tutorial next video. Thanks a ton for watching if you made it this far, and I hope I was able to help you get started, or maybe remind you of a few tricks you might have forgotten. Things will ramp up here in difficulty as we get more advanced. See you next time.